The Isvara was a model of intergalactic engineering, a multi-species ship designed to traverse the farthest reaches of the galaxy. The crew aboard it was a diverse array of beings from worlds scattered across the stars, each with their own unique set of skills and perspectives. But despite its impressive capabilities, there was one thing the Isvara lacked, something no one had expected would be the key to their survival: a human engineer. Humanity was a race few in the galactic community wanted to hire. Earth's classification as a death world was a label no one took lightly. The planet had evolved in a brutal, hyper-competitive ecosystem, and the creatures who called it home were formidable in ways no sapient race should be. The galaxy's dominant species regarded humans as primitive, reckless, and overly resilient, almost dangerously so. But that was before the crash. The Isvara had been on a routine transport mission when disaster struck. A series of unfortunate events left them spiraling toward a Class 6 danger world, a planet so hostile that even the most advanced species could not survive for long. The atmosphere was thick with corrosive gases, lightning storms raged incessantly, and the land was dominated by colossal predatory creatures who viewed anything that moved as prey. There was no hope of landing safely, or so they thought. And that was when Leah Trask came into the picture. She had been hired only recently, on a temporary basis, mind you, as the ship's engineer. The crew, though diverse in every sense of the word, had all been skeptical of the humans. They had heard the stories, the warnings. Humans were survivalists at best, useless in the most refined and sophisticated of operations at worst. But when the Isvara's thrusters gave out, and the ship began its plummet toward the uninhabitable planet below, their skepticism quickly turned into something far more urgent: survival. Leah didn't panic. She wasn't even fazed. With a calm that unnerved even the most stoic members of the crew, she rushed to the engineering bay. Her hands moved with a precision that made her seem more like a machine than a person, though every motion carried the weight of her training, a training no other race had. While the other engineers aboard the Isvara could work wonders with delicate machinery and sophisticated systems, Leah knew how to fix things in the most extreme of circumstances. She knew how to make something work when everything else failed. The ship's thrust system was damaged beyond immediate repair, but Leah did what no one expected. She jury-rigged the engines to burn at reduced power, using whatever scraps of resources the ship had. Every second counted. With every passing moment, the Isvara spiraled closer to the planet's surface, and the lives of her fellow crew members were depending on her. The moment the gravity well began to crush them, Leah did what she had trained for all her life. While the crew scrambled to stabilize the ship and brace for impact, she adjusted the ship's energy signature, cleverly rerouting power from non-essential systems. When the hull shuddered and creaked under the stress, she adapted, reinforcing weak points and boosting shields with whatever tools and parts were at hand. The ship's descent slowed. Just enough. By the time the Isvara crashed into the treacherous landscape of the Danger World, the impact wasn't a fatal one. The hull buckled, but not enough to tear the ship apart. The crew, though dazed and battered, was alive. As the crew staggered out of the wreckage, the full reality of their predicament set in. They were stranded on a planet where even the most resilient of species had little chance of surviving. The toxic atmosphere, the unrelenting storms, and the monstrous predators could pick them off one by one, and the odds of rescue were slim at best. Most of the crew were used to space stations and comfortable planetary environments, places where they could rely on technology and resources to survive, but none of them had faced a planet like this before. No one except Leah. While the rest of the crew began setting up rudimentary defenses and medical stations, Leah surveyed their surroundings with a calmness that bordered on unnerving. She understood this world in a way no one else did. This was her element. "All right," she said, her voice low but commanding. "We've got a lot of work to do, and I'll be damned if we don't get through this alive." Over the following weeks, Leah's resourcefulness was put to the test. The crew's survival depended on her knowledge of engineering, biology, and survival tactics that humans had spent millennia perfecting. The aliens aboard the ship, each with their own specialties, provided valuable assistance, but none could match the relentless adaptability that humans possessed. When the storms became unbearable, Leah knew exactly how to construct shelters from the planet's hostile environment. When the local fauna, monstrous predators that dwarfed any creature they had encountered, began to circle their camp, Leah took the lead in setting traps and using their instincts against them. She had no hesitation when it came to defending the crew. Her ruthless efficiency in eliminating threats was something that gave even the most fearsome species pause. In her spare time, she worked tirelessly on a repair schedule, salvaging parts from the wreckage of the Isvara and creating improvised tools to keep everyone alive. Through it all, Leah's steadfast determination became the glue that held the crew together. They watched in awe as she faced challenges with an ingenuity no one else had, and even in the darkest moments when hope seemed lost, Leah would always find a way to push forward. Days turned into weeks, and just as they were starting to run out of supplies, a rescue ship finally arrived. The crew was alive. Not only alive, but stronger. They had survived the impossible, thanks to Leah Trask. When they were safely aboard the rescue ship and headed back into space, the ship's captain, a seasoned officer with decades of experience, looked to the human with a new understanding. He had been one of the first to question the decision to hire her. "I was wrong," Captain Knox said quietly, as the crew gathered around. "This isn't just about having an engineer, it's about having someone who can adapt to anything. Someone who thrives where we couldn't even imagine it. From now on, every ship I command will have at least one human, regardless of their job title." The captain's words echoed across the galaxy. His recommendation to the council was clear. Humans were no longer just a species to be feared or avoided. They were indispensable. They didn't just survive, they thrived when others perished. In the months that followed, humanity's reputation among the stars shifted. Ships began hiring human crew members, not just for their engineering skills, but for their adaptability, their survival instincts, and their unyielding resolve. Whether as engineers, navigators, or security personnel, humans found their place in every ship where the captain was wise enough to know. In a survival situation, a human would make sure everyone made it out alive. Leah Trask's name became a symbol of that truth. Proof that humanity was no longer a race to be underestimated, but one to be valued, and above all, relied upon.